Good afternoon. I am Corporal Carly McCann, Provincial Public Information Officer for the Nova Scotia RCMP. Thank you all for being here today. Bonjour, je suis la caporale Carly McCann, agent d'information publique pour la GRC en Nouvelle-Écosse. Merci de votre présence aujourd'hui. First, I acknowledge that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the traditional and unceded ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I also recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kma'ki known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years. Premièrement, je reconnais que nous nous trouvons aujourd'hui à Mi'kma'ki, le territoire ancestral traditionnel et non cédé du peuple Mi'kmaq. Je reconnais également que les Néo-Écossais d'origine africaine constituent un peuple distinct dont l'histoire, l'héritage et les contributions ont enrichi la partie de Mi'kmaq connue sous le nom de la Nouvelle-Écosse depuis plus de 400 ans. At this time, I invite the following officers to the podium with me. Inspector Mike Ingles, District Policing Officer for Northeast Nova District RCMP, Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon, Pictou County District Commander, Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon, Acting Officer in Charge of Major Crimes and Behavioral Sciences Group, and Amy Hansen, Search Manager with Colchester Ground Search and Rescue. Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon will provide you with an overview of the efforts to find Lily and Jack. He will review the search and investigation that began on Friday morning and provide the current status and next steps. We will take questions from media present following that. I invite Staff Sergeant McKinnon to the podium. J'invite maintenant le Sergent d'État McKinnon à prendre la parole. Merci.
Thank you all for being here today. First of all, our thoughts go out to the family and loved ones of Lily and Jack Sullivan, to their communities, and to everyone who's worked day and night in an effort to find the children and bring them home. Since the first 911 call was received by the RCMP, reporting that 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack had wandered away from their home on Garlick Road and Lansdowne Station, a multi-agency search has been underway. Teams have been working around the clock. This search has included many agencies, including volunteer ground search and rescue teams from across Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, the Civil Air Search and Rescue Association, known as CASERA, Department of Natural Resources Air Services, Nova Scotia Public Safety and Field Communications, Nova Scotia Guard, Joint Rescue Coordination Centre, Salvation Army, the Canada Heavy Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 5, and several RCMP units, including police dog services and drone operators. Since Saturday, because we treat all missing person files as suspicious until our investigation leads us to determine otherwise, our Major Crimes Unit has been engaged. It's been an all-hands-on-deck effort using every available resource and tool. Since the search began on May 2nd, it has been concentrated in the Garlick Road area and has covered 4 square kilometers of heavy, wooded, rural terrain. Up to 160 trained volunteer searchers, along with many others, have been involved in the search each day. Tens of thousands of search hours have been dedicated to scouring the area, and GSAR has confirmed that over 100 tracks has been laid using GPS and grid searches. Efforts to locate Lily and Jack have also included 2 vulnerable missing person alerts, posting their children's photos and information on Nova Scotia RCMP website and social media accounts. Our social accounts have more than 300,000 followers, and releasing information to local media as well as reporters across the country. Lily and Jack have made headlines from coast to coast. While the search has been ongoing, RCMP officers continued with the missing person investigation, speaking with family and community members to gather tips and other information that could help locate the children. We have not received any confirmed reports of sightings. Lily and Jack's family has been provided with regular updates on the search and on the missing person investigation. They've also been afforded supports. As of today, May 7th, the active search efforts to locate Lily and Jack will be scaled back. We're transitioning from a full-scale search to searches in more specific spaces that have already been searched by our teams. We want to circle back to increase the probability that all clues have been found. And when transitioning from an active search to a scaled-back search, the probability of survival is taken into consideration. I want to assure you that our missing persons investigation continues. We're not packing up, and we're not giving up. Our investigation is broad, and it won't end until we know where Lily and Jack are and can bring them home. We'll continue to investigate and chase leads for as long as and as hard as we have to. We have the best investigators working every aspect of the file. We continue to appeal to anyone who have information related to our investigation and who has not yet spoken to us to contact the Pictou County District RCMP at 902-485-4333 or Crime Stoppers. Before I close, I want to reiterate that our hearts go out to Lily and Jack's family, to the community, and the people who've worked so incredibly hard to date. Many of us have children of our own and have wanted nothing more than to reunite Lily and Jack with their loved ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Staff Sergeant McKinnon. I'll now provide his remarks in French. Merci à tous d'être présents aujourd'hui. Tout d'abord, nos pensées vont à la famille et les proches de Lily et Jack Sullivan, à leur communauté et à tous ceux qui ont travaillé jour et nuit pour retrouver les enfants et les ramener à la maison. Et depuis le premier appel au 911 reçu par la GRC signalant que Lily, 6 ans, et Jack, 4 ans, s'étaient égarés de leur domicile sur la rue Garlock à Lansdowne Station, les recherches ont été lancées par de nombreuses agences. Les équipes ont travaillé sans relâche. Plusieurs organisations ont participé aux recherches, notamment les équipes bénévoles de recherche et de sauvetage au sol de la Nouvelle-Écosse et du Nouveau-Brunswick, l'Association civile de recherche et de sauvetage aérien, également connue sous le nom CASERA, les services aériens du ministère des Ressources naturelles, le ministère de la Sécurité publique et des communications sur le terrain de la Nouvelle-Écosse, le Centre conjoint de coordination des opérations de sauvetage, la Salvation Army, la Garde de la Nouvelle-Écosse, la Force opérationnelle 5 de recherche et de sauvetage de milieux urbains de niveau opérationnel lourd du Canada et plusieurs unités de la GRC, y compris les services cynophiles et les opérateurs des drones. Depuis samedi, parce que nous traitons tous les dossiers de personnes disparues comme suspectes jusqu'à ce que notre enquête nous amène à déterminer le contraire, notre groupe de crimes majeurs a été mobilisé. Il s'agit d'un effort collectif qui fait appel à toutes les ressources et à tous les outils disponibles. Depuis le début des recherches, le 2 mai, chasseurs se sont concentrés dans la région de la rue Garlock et ont couvert 4 km² de terrain très boisé. Jusqu'à 160 chercheurs bénévoles formés, avec de nombreuses autres personnes, ont participé aux recherches chaque jour. Des dizaines de milliers d'heures de recherche ont été consacrées à fouiller la zone et les responsables de recherche et de sauvetage au sol ont confirmé que plus de 100 parcours ont été effectués à l'aide des systèmes de localisation GPS et de grilles de recherche. Parmi les efforts de retrouver Lily et Jack, mentionnons aussi la diffusion de 2 alertes de personnes vulnérables disparues, la publication des photos et des renseignements sur le site web de la GRC en Nouvelle-Écosse et des réseaux sociaux, et la transmission de renseignements aux médias locaux ainsi qu'aux journalistes de l'ensemble du pays. Lily et Jack ont fait des manchettes d'un océan à l'autre. Pendant que les recherches ici se poursuivaient, les agents de la GRC ont continué avec l'enquête sur les personnes disparues, s'entraînant avec la famille et les membres de la communauté pour recueillir des renseignements et d'autres informations qui pourraient aider à localiser les enfants. Nous n'avons reçu aucun rapport confirmé d'observation. La famille de Lily et Jack a reçu des mises à jour régulières sur les recherches et l'enquête sur les personnes disparues. Ils ont également reçu du soutien. À compter d'aujourd'hui, le 7 mai, les efforts de recherche actifs pour trouver Lily et Jack passeront d'une recherche à grande échelle à des recherches dans les espaces plus spécifiques, des espaces qui ont déjà été fouillés par nos équipes. Nous voulons faire demi-tour pour augmenter la probabilité que tous les indices aient été trouvés. Lors de la transition à une recherche réduite, la probabilité de survie est prise en compte. Je tiens à vous assurer que notre enquête sur les personnes disparues se poursuit. Nous ne faisons pas nos valises et nous n'abandonnons pas. Notre enquête est vaste et ne s'arrêtera pas tant que nous ne saurons pas où se trouvent Jack et Lily et que nous ne les ramènerons pas à la maison. Nous continuerons à enquêter et à suivre les pistes aussi longtemps et autres intensément qu'il le faudra. Nous avons des meilleures enquêtes qui travaillent sur tous les aspects de ce dossier. Nous continuons à demander à toute personne qui ne pourrait avoir les renseignements liés à notre équipe et qui ne nous a pas encore parlé de communiquer, s'il vous plaît, avec le district de comté de Pictou de la GRC ou avec échec au crime. Avant de conclure, je tiens à rappeler que nous sommes de tout cœur avec la famille de Lily et Jack, avec la communauté et avec toutes les personnes qui ont travaillé si fort jusqu'à ce jour. Beaucoup d'entre nous ont des enfants et nous souhaitons rien d'autre que de réunir Lily et Jack avec leurs proches. Merci beaucoup. We will now proceed with the question and answer period. For the benefit of all participants, please provide your name, the outlet you represent, and to whom your question is directed. We will be limiting the question and answer period to one question and one follow-up. Nous allons maintenant procéder à la période de questions et réponses. Nous vous demandons, s'il vous plaît, de vous limiter à une question et à un suivi. Pour le bénéfice de tous les participants, veuillez indiquer votre nom, l'organisation que vous représentez et à qui vous dirigez votre question. Donc, on va commencer à ma gauche ici, so we'll start on my left over here if someone has a question on this side. Yeah.
Here for Canada. You said you're going over areas that aren't. What's the purpose of that? When before that you were telling us you were extending research, and if you could say it in French.
If you'd like to start in English, I'll repeat in French.
What we'll be doing is we'll be continuing on. Just because today the search is being scaled back, we still will continue on, and we will go back to areas that we feel that we may need to re-look at, and we may expand out if there's any type of information that leads us to believe that we need to do that.
So if you'd like to follow up. Sorry, I'll...
Like why? Like how would that help to specifically go to places that have been searched by hundreds of people, like you're saying? Like how could that help find information?
Yeah, because of the terrain, there could be different types of things that we may want to try and get back in if we are able to locate anything that may come up that the searchers didn't go catch the first time. But we will do everything we can to try and find Jack and Lily. Yeah, and based on the weather, the season changes, we don't want to leave, and we're not leaving. It's just that this part of this search is being scaled back.
So, en français, on continue de faire la recherche dans les mêmes espaces qu'on a déjà visités parce qu'avec les changements de météo, les changements de saison pendant l'année, on va peut-être trouver des nouveaux indices, des nouvelles choses là qui peuvent nous aider à établir des nouveaux indices pour trouver Lily et Jack. On continue avec la recherche ici et notre but ici continue de retourner Lily et Jack à leur famille et à leur maison. Yes.
I guess, you've done an incredibly exhaustive search, and major crime is also here, and having not found these children, having done a very thorough search, can you tell us the role of major crime in this and what you can tell us about that investigation?
Do you want to?
Rob McCammon, Robert, and MCCAMON is the last name. So major crime became involved very early in the investigation. We're able to bring in some specialized knowledge and skill sets, and we help with the information management and decision making. As we scale back, as we've identified, there are certain areas that are going to be relooked at that could contain a confined area perhaps and maybe need some more specialized search areas. But I'll leave that to the search crews to expand on. And we're going to continue pursuing any leads or information that comes in and the stuff that we do have. We have engaged in all areas of the RCMP. All tools that are available to us are being considered and engaged when appropriate.
Do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, and a follow-up that I guess the general population looks at it and says, you've searched very thoroughly this area,
Mhm.
you would have found them
Mhm.
if they were there. Which then makes people, you know, certainly on social media, people are assuming, rightly or wrongly, that there's a criminal element to this.
Sure.
And can you, I mean, I know, what can you tell me about that, your work on that?
Well, I can't really speculate on the investigation, obviously. That wouldn't be fair to the process. But we are constantly reviewing everything that's been done, looking at all different facets of available information, and we'll make decisions on that. I can't really comment on the details of that, but we will pursue every lead that becomes available and take it to where it needs to go. So.
Thank you. So is there a question? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
You at first said it wasn't suspicious, you think the kids just wandered off. Now you're saying every missing person's investigation is considered suspicious. Is it still suspicious? Are there any suspects here?
Again, I'm not going to comment on the details of the investigation, but I will comment when somebody goes missing and we become engaged as any police officer, not just major crime, we will look at all the details and make considerations on the information we have, right? When it comes to a missing person, we have to automatically consider those, are there people that have different charter implications and things like that? So we will automatically start to consider what evidence is pointing us towards a suspicious in nature. Again, I can't comment more than that, but every missing person case, we would approach it from the same process, a methodical collection and review of information with decisions based on that.
And the family has said they believe it's an abduction or they suspect it's an abduction. Are there now any clues or anything leading you to think that that might be possible?
If we had any information that led that way and we felt that we could provide anything with the public, we would have done that. We would have got that information out. We're working very closely with the family and we will pursue every avenue, but again, I'm not going to make any specific comments, but anything that would point towards that, we would immediately take steps to address things that need to be addressed.
My road is CBC. I think this question is the most appropriate. It sounds like you talked about survivability. I was wondering if you could address that specifically, given the ages of the two missing children and the weather conditions that we experienced.
Yeah, so the incident command person with the RCMP, along with the search manager, at some point have to make a decision when would it scale back the search. And a number of factors would have to take consideration, and they would, based upon scientific information that they have, to deem when that time has to come, and that is now. And a lot of those factors come into play would be the age of the missing persons, the weather, how long it's been, what area it's been covered. So at that point, they have to make a decision on that.
I hate to ask this, but given their age and conditions, if they were still able to
I guess it goes back to all those factors that have to come into play, right? So we are scaling back because it's time to move to a different part of the search.
Scale back versus active search. I know yesterday there was a at or around 140 searchers around Foursquare, you said. Can you quantify what scale back is, like fewer searchers, smaller area, larger area? How does that look like?
Yeah, so just to go to the first point, there's been a lot of searchers here, and we can't thank them enough for being here. They've given up. A lot of them have been here since day one, and they have given up. Some have taken time off work, some have left their families behind, and we are very grateful for that. Saying that, we will look in on them and their senior managers to give us some recommendations of what else we can do, but we will take that and we will explore whatever we have and whatever we can do to check it in spots that need to be checked or whatever. But at this point in time, after today, we just won't see all these searchers here.
Sure. Amy, if you're comfortable
Amy.
with that. Thank you.
I saw a person yesterday who was dressed like a limping, didn't carry out. People were hopping sledding, which was outrageous. Can you talk about how rough it was? It looks almost impossible. What did you see? What did your people, your team see? You went into these woods.
Well, these woods, they are very thick. There's a lot of the hurricane damage from Fiona a couple years ago, and we've had teams struggling to get through areas, and I can't say anything more about the searchers. They're pushing through all of these areas, going through all of these deadfalls, going through waterways and anything possible just to cover their search areas, so we know that everything has been so thoroughly searched that it's time to, as they say, scale back. And we are exhausting people, and we're starting to see more injuries coming back the last couple of days, and it's hard terrain. Amy Hansen.
And
SEM.
And I will note as well, having had the opportunity to participate yesterday in a helicopter search as well, it is immensely clear looking from above, based on the orange tags on the trees, how thoroughly and meticulously the area has been searched, based on the indications you can see even from up in the air of how thorough the searches are. So I also give a hats off to the many searchers who have participated here in support of finding Lily and Jack. Yeah, would you like to go ahead?
Very slow.
Good.
Are radios able to pick up Staff Sergeant McKinnon here with this train, or that's it? Okay, well,
Wait.
we'll wait for it to pass.
Side effect of safety, we have to slow down.
They slowed it down.
So I'll make it move back if that's fine. Is that any better at this point with the bell passed? I'll note as well the reason that the train is passing by slowly is out of respect for the fact that Lily and Jack are missing here. So it's passing slow in order to have their staff be aware and note the ongoing missing person investigation happening in the area here. So that just does again speak to the number of people involved and aware of this search and everything that's happening in this area, and the awareness and the way that the information has spread so widely through Nova Scotia and Canada. So I think we were with your question. Okay. Have we found any evidence that they are?
Yeah, so at one point there was a possible boot impression found, and I can tell you that they search and rescues then performed grid searches of that area and expanded out from that area in a meticulous fashion. They're focused and tight searches, and nothing else was found.
And do you believe that the evidence that you found was of the children?
It appeared it was a possible boot print of a smaller boot print. So when we have a possibility like that, that's when we exhaust that area as well. So make sure that wasn't a clue that we were missing.
Thank you.
Lindsay Armstrong with the Canadian Press. I'm wondering, I understand K9 unit have been involved, have the cadaver dogs been involved at this point?
I don't believe cadaver dives have been involved at this point yet.
Will they become involved?
But-
And I'd also like to circle back to Blair's question on survivability. If you could give a little bit more detail there about how you're making the equation, bringing in cadaver dogs and assessing survivability.
So cadaver dogs could be the next step in terms of part when we talk about scaling back. That could be another option that we now look at using. And getting back to that point, I mean, that decision was made based on a lot of factors. And if we thought they were alive right now, we'd still be out there.
It could be, does that mean that it'll be Nancy?
Not that I'm aware I can speak to of the cadaver dogs are coming or not. I can't speak to it.
is there a question here? Oh, well, Shifter, do you two have something global? No? Okay. Ready to start?
I do.
Sure,
Hi.
thank you.
I'm Lindsay Jones with the Globe and Mail. Wondering if you can clarify, the third major crime has been involved since Sunday, is that correct?
Saturday morning.
Since Saturday, okay. So do you believe the children have met foul play?
Do you want to talk? Okay.
Again, I'm not going to comment on specifics of the investigation. We're going to continue on, and when we get to a point that we've got information that we're able to make any decisions that are able to be public, we'll let you know at that time. But right now, I'm not going to comment on specifics. So.
Okay, so, but you don't believe the children are alive anymore?
No, based on the experts and the review of the facts, the inclement weather, the time frames, and their age, the likelihood that they're alive right now is very low.
Okay, and can I just ask one more question about the scaling back of the search? Are you reducing the number of searchers out there, or is it being concentrated just with RCMP now, or how is that looking differently on the ground?
Yeah, absolutely. So the searchers will be finishing at the end of their operational period today, and now it'll come back to the Pictou District RCMP, and we'll make decisions and put in plans of how we move forward.
So rather than having the large presence here, the massive number of searchers on scene every day, searches will be based on information that comes in and specifics in order to make things pointed and specific to areas that are pinpointed or specific to a search need in the area. So. I believe we've gone through the group for questions at this point. So out of respect for the police officers here and the many searchers who are still there, I'd like to conclude our media availability today. Oh, sorry, is there one person with... Sorry, my apologies, sorry.
No worries. Alex Terrio, Stingray Radio. You mentioned you're circling back to find clues. You talked about the blueprint. Are there anything you were looking to find, expecting to find, or usually find in these situations?
We're looking for any type of clue, any information to help us out, and then we'll take that information and work forward from that.
Second follow-up, is the blueprint still involved in the search process, or was that deemed to be not relevant to the lead?
I can't say it's not relevant, but it was the search was exhausted in that area, and we were not able to find any more clues or evidence in that area. So.
Thank you very much.
So you just said to the previous question that the ground search and rescue is being called, like the volunteers are being called off after today?
Yes, at the end of the operational period today, they will be done.
Can you see that in French?
À la fin de la session aujourd'hui, les équipes de sauvetage qui sont ici, l'opération sera finie à la fin de la journée aujourd'hui, le 7 mai. Merci. So again, out of respect for the search and rescue teams that continue to be on scene here and the police as well, we conclude this media availability today. And our thoughts do remain with Lily and Jack's loved ones at this difficult time.